right, folks, today is part 2 of working with the 3-color acrylic from Lonestar Adhesive. Sorry, I misspoke in the last video. I thought it was 2-color and it wasn't. My apologies. But anyway, I'm glad you're back. Let me show you a new hat press. Let's just get right into it. And here we go. Silver, black, and red. Silver, black, and blue. Maybe get a little closer and you can see. So I have the inverse of these 2 acrylic patches setting over on my workbench. And what we're going to do today is use a brand new hat press that I just received. I received this from Vevor to do a video on, and I thought, I like this thing because I've tried it once and it works well. So I would do a video on it anyway. It's actually pretty nice. And let me show you exactly which hat press we're going to be using. So here is the hat press as it sits on my desk, but let me go to the website and show you the specs directly from the website. Okay, and what we have is the Vevor 3-in-1 Auto Hat Heat Press. It does have 3 interchangeable platens. If you'll see right here, there are thumb screws that you can remove the platen and then switch to one of these others. So there are 3 total, and this is showing all 3 sizes. If we look at their details, it does say auto press, automatic heat press machine. So basically you hit the power button. Once it's at temperature, it will automatically close. It will stay closed for the amount of time that you preset, and then it will automatically open after that time is up. It says it comes with a larger heating plate size, 6.41 by 3.15 inches. Uniform heating every time. A precise knob for easy control. I can attest to that. And it is a 3-in-1 unforgettable hat press. So 3 heating pads, 6x6, 6.6 by 2.7, 6.6 by 3.8, and 6.1 by 3. Now, let me show you some footage of the one that I have sitting here on my desk. All right, here we have the top-down view of this Vevor Auto hat press. You can see the platen that comes with it. It has the knobs to change platens. There's the very nice digital readout for the temperature and time. It's also your power on-off button. All right, so I'm going to zoom around here and show you some different angles. There you'll see the lever that locks the head in place. You don't have to hold it while you're trying to finagle the hat onto the platen. And let's compare the 3 different sizes of the bottom platens. There's 2 and there's 3. So you have medium width, a smaller width, and a wider width. And I did go over the specs for those in inches a little bit earlier in this video. And I did just want to show you the owner's manual. You can slow this video down and take a look through that manual yourself, but it is in English. It's very straightforward and not difficult to operate this machine straight out of the box. All right, so we got some details from the website. Now let's take a look at this thing and see what it'll do. First thing I'm going to do is turn it on and let you see it heat up in real time. So this is going to be a real time to go from room temperature up to 270 degrees. And then after that, I will show you how to adjust the temperature and how to adjust the time, because I want to adjust both of those so that I can first preform the acrylic patch and get a little curve in it. So I want it to do that at a lower temperature and maybe a little bit longer time. Then I'll switch it back to the regular press settings and we'll get the patch adhered to our 2 different styles of hats. All right, let's head over to the press. We'll see the lines disappear on the display. So when I plug it in, we get a beep and we know that it's ready to power on. So turn it on, we push that button, And it looks like it's still cooling down from earlier when I had it on. So it started at 95, but it's going to run up to 270. Now, to adjust, you spin the knob right or left, and then we can adjust either the temperature or the seconds. All right, and if we want to adjust the temperature, we spin it to the right. It puts it in temperature adjust mode. Here, you can just turn the dial up and down to get the temperature you want. Press the power button. Turn the dial counterclockwise. It'll put it in time adjustment mode so we can adjust the time to whatever we want. 20 seconds. I'm going to let this preheat. But before we do that, you can actually actuate the mechanism to have it close and do it by the press of the button. Then you can either wait for the timer or you can press the button again and that will release the mechanism and it will open up. All right, and it is beeping to let us know it has came up to temperature. So what I'm going to do is place one of the acrylic patches down here, roughly in the center, place a sheet of wax paper over top of it, and then go ahead and close the press. You push the button to stop it from beeping. That's just going to count down from 20 seconds. Once it hits 0, it will open. And then we'll check to see how rounded our patch is. It's starting to get there. So let's let that go one more time. Then what we can always do is once it releases, just grab it with our hands and just while it's still warm, give it a little extra bend. So there, it's got a little more bend. And then if we just, you can always just kind of hold it there or wave it around, let it cool down, and it'll kind of set that bend in there. Now that's got us much closer to the actual shape of the hat. I forgot to put a piece of wax on the pad so that none of the acrylic or anything transfers to the pad. So I like to put a piece of wax paper down first, and I forgot to do that. Let me do that again. And now I'm going to run this one more time, except I'm going to turn up the time to 30 seconds. Push the button to set it, push the button to run it. Now, if we go to the Lonestar Adhesive website, lonestaradhesive.com, link is in the description. If we go to the single platen settings, they suggest starting at 300 degrees for 40 to 50 seconds with most materials. So we're going to run 300 degrees, and I'm just going to run it for 30 seconds and see how it does, and check it, make sure everything's looking good, and then do a second press for another 30 seconds. Here they have some example settings for you. All right, so we have our patch with some curvature. Now, sometimes I'll use a magic eraser. Today, I'm going to use a folded up microfiber cloth, and I'm thinking I'm going to put the blue patch on the gray hat. That looks pretty good. We'll go with that. So the first thing we do does have a lever here, so you can put the back of the hat in, put the lever in the back of the hat, and then you flip it down. But it's not spring loaded that you have to constantly hold it while you're putting the hat on. You can actually get your hat on, have that wrapped around it. Then once you have your hat in place, Then you can activate the arm and it will hold the hat right where it needs to be. I didn't have it up far enough. There we go. Since I'm using the cloth, I'm not going to do a preheat press. Just going to put this right here in the center, right where it needs to go. And then I'm going to put a piece of wax paper over it, just to help keep everything clean. Then I'm going to adjust the temperature. Take that to 300. Then I'll adjust the time. It's already at 30, so we'll leave that there. Give that a few seconds to come up to temperature. All right, we're at temperature, so I'm going to activate it. Have a little steam, that's good. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the hat. Oops, forgot to put that up. Just make sure everything's pressed down and looking good. Looks like a little bit of the wax paper stuck to it. That's all right, we can clean that off. All right, now I'll put the hat back in and get ready for press number 2. I really prefer parchment paper, and I don't know where it is, so I have these wax paper sheets, but parchment paper is much better. Highly recommend parchment paper. Wax paper, not so much. Because I'm going to have to go back and clean that off with probably a magic eraser or something. All right, now let's get that stretched back down. And second press. Yep, a little bit of the wax paper is sticking, so I'm gonna have to clean that off. Do a little bit right there. I'll let it cool, and then we'll get that cleaned off. Okay, folks, I'm back. I found my parchment paper. It's so much better than wax paper. Don't use wax paper. Use parchment. So I'll put the parchment paper down on the press, on the bottom platen. And then I put the patch here. And I decided to leave it at 300, but not let it go 30 seconds. Only let it go 10 seconds. And I got a perfect formed hat patch. And the adhesive did not stick. It hasn't activated yet. So 300 degrees, about 10 seconds. That'll preheat your acrylic enough that you can get a nice bend in it right on the press. And then it's cool enough to touch that you can actually bend it a little more if you need to. But here you see a nice curve. We'll load our hat on here. Just like to smooth that and try to get as many wrinkles out as you can. And then our pre-curved patch fits on there very nice. Make sure this hat's straight and get this straight. Now, the clean side of the parchment paper right on top. Let's do our first 30 seconds. I just used a microfiber or a magic eraser and cleaned that wax paper residue off. So now we have the hat. Looks good. First press of this one went very well. Looks like I need to move the hat back just a little bit here. It's a little smaller than the other one. And we'll do press number 2. Try not to let this wrinkle on top of your acrylic patch. It can put lines in it. All right, that does look good. I'm going to take this out and let the hat rest here until it cools down so that this patch retains some of the curvature shape while it's still warm. At this point in time, you can hold the power button down, turn the machine off because we're done with both hats. All right, and as you can see, I'm wearing the second hat with the red. Yeah, the red patch. It forms nice to my head. I think it's looking pretty good. Going straight, it's adhered all the way around. I don't see any gaps. It should stay on there for life. If not, it's because I didn't press it properly. It's not because of the adhesive. And then here is the hat number 1. It's still got a little bit of microfiber dust on it. Ignore that. Overall, I'm very happy with those 2 hats. I'm happy with this press. I like the ease of use. I like the digital readout and the easy adjustment for the temperature and the time. So far, I think it works well. It is single platen. However, it does have the adjustable bottom plates, adjustable by switching them out. So you have 3 different sizes. So overall, I give it 2 thumbs up. It's working very well, and I like it much better than the older style one that I have that's total manual. I don't know. This one seems pretty good, convenient, and it works well. So if you guys have one, let me know what you think of yours down in the comments below. I also have a link down in the description so that you can check this hat press out for yourself and pick one up along the way. If you feel like you might use it, use that link and it might help the channel out a little bit with an affiliate link. Please. But thank you, channel members. Thank you, patrons, for your support. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for hanging around for another video. One more time. We're looking really nice. I'm very happy. And that's it. I'm forgetting something. Oh, most importantly, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.